Universal Orlando quietly tested a new innovation at Epic Universe a couple days ago, and I'm not really a fan of what it could mean for the park going forward. On Monday, April 13th, an eagle-eyed parkgoer noticed something a little different in the Dark Universe portal at Epic Universe. Florida Coasters 1 on Instagram posted a picture of some unique pillars set at the entrance to the Dark Universe portal that are supposedly for photo validation. They look great, and they definitely fit in with the theming to the celestial vibe of the portals, but I don't know if I like why they're testing these. Why would Universal need to monitor everyone that's entering a certain portal? Well, some people seem to think that Universal is testing an open hub model for Epic Universe. What does this mean? It means Celestial Park could be open to the general public, allowing more guests to experience the restaurants and shops in the middle of the park, with the portals to the different lands requiring a different ticket to access them. These pillars that were seen in the Dark Universe portal would be used to validate those that would be able to enter certain portals, as opposed to those who are only there to experience Celestial Park. Though these pillars have only been seen in Dark Universe, every portal has these pillar attachments built in already, as well as the two attractions in Celestial Park, Constellation Carousel and Stardust Racers. But why would Universal want to do this? Well, for anyone that's paid attention, you might have noticed that there is ample reservations for both of the sit-down restaurants in Celestial Park, the Atlantic and the Blue Dragon. Both of these restaurants are fantastic, but people that are visiting Epic seem to want to spend their time in the portals as opposed to in the restaurants. And you know what? I get it. But Universal wants to fill these seats, and they know that there's money to be made there. Epic Universe was not a cheap endeavor, and Universal wants to make their money back on their investment as soon as possible. But how would this open concept work? Would it be free, just open to the public, kind of like a new city walk? This would obviously allow for the maximum amount of guests possible, but I highly doubt that this is the way they'd go in terms of unfolding this new idea. I would guess that they would go one of two ways. One, Universal could charge a small fee to enter Celestial Park, and then an additional fee to enter the portals and attractions. This would be an increase in profits compared to an open door policy, and would keep it to people that really just want to be there to experience the land and enjoy the shops, food, and entertainment. It would also encourage people to potentially upgrade their entry ticket to then be able to enter the different portals after they arrive. Or two, they could possibly use this open hub for annual pass holders. Universal knows that out-of-state or out-of-country guests that visit Epic Universe will want to experience the whole park, whereas the locals that have annual passes have already visited Epic a handful of times. And they just want to eat, drink, and vibe out in the atmosphere of Celestial Park. If Universal does go this route, they can satisfy the itch of annual pass holders wanting to get access to Epic, while also allowing non-annual pass holders the ability to utilize the whole park. On this note, another question that arises is, would this additional access fee be portal by portal, or would it be a buy one and get access to all 4 portals type of deal? Portal by portal would probably be in the favor of Universal in terms of profit, but not in terms of guest ease and satisfaction. Also, would the portal be open at all times, or would it be limited to certain times? Some people seem to think that this open hub concept would be open to the public at like 6 p.m., allowing guests to enter, grab dinner, grab some merch, and potentially watch the nighttime shows. This would allow guests that have full tickets to Epic be able to get the maximum value out of their basically full day at Epic, and then it would only be the evening where the hub would have this open concept. And you know what? If I were an Orlando local, I would love this idea. Whether it's open to the general public or just annual pass holders, and whether it's free or a small charge, I would be so down. However, as a foreigner, I'm actually quite against this idea of an open Celestial Park. As someone who only gets to visit the parks like 1 to 2 times a year and pays top dollar to be there, I would hate to have Celestial Park open to anyone and everyone. I expect that for City Walk, but I also love that the parks are exclusive to those that buy a ticket. And I would hope that Epic stays the same as that. I'm not opposed to it being open to annual pass holders though. I think that's a great compromise to get people in and eating at the restaurants and buying the merch, and it comes with the territory of having an annual pass. Either way though, having an open hub and having these photo validation pillars in the portals is going to slightly ruin the aesthetic of the portals. It takes away from the vast opening feeling, and it is going to create crowding right in front of the portals, making them feel more like just a generic entrance to a theme park land, instead of some celestial portal that is taking us to a brand new place. The funny part of all this is that we all could just totally be overreacting to all this. Though many people that do know what they're talking about do seem to think that Universal is looking towards this open hub concept, they could just use this technology for private events. Having this separate portal idea here could mean that certain portals could be rented out, requiring special entry. These photo validation pillars could be a way to limit access to certain portals, but allowing the rest of the guests to access the rest of the park in a quite easy manner. Or, and most likely, it's going to be both of these. They could use this to open it up to the general public and annual pass holders, and they could use this technology for private events. Universal having the ability to limit access to certain portals and certain attractions really allows them to do whatever they want to make a dime. Whether it be open hubs, special events, whatever, Universal now can cash in on any option. But whatever they do, I really hope they don't sacrifice guest satisfaction just to make a buck. A loyal customer that has a great experience will be a repeat customer for life, whereas a scorned customer that feels like they have been taken advantage of for a less than stellar experience will potentially just be one and done. If they are going to play with this concept, I would hope that they do limit it to annual pass holders and they do limit the time to 6 p.m. onward. Use this as a way to introduce annual pass holders to Epic, slowly opening it up. Having it solely for annual pass holders would also make it slightly more fair to all the other guests that have paid full price to be there. I know I'd be mad if I paid top dollar to be in Epic that day, but then some guests get to enter for a discount and get to experience the absolute best parts of Celestial Park. If you've been to Epic already, you know that Celestial Park is the most beautiful at night. Maybe I'm being selfish, but if I'm paying top dollar to be in Epic Universe, I think I'm allowed to be a little bit selfish. Will this be happening anytime soon? Probably not. In the other Universal parks, Universal tested a pay-per-ride system in October 2025, and then they just dropped their Express Now ticket option, which is what they were testing before. So if we use that timeline, we wouldn't have this open hub concept until potentially maybe even October this year. But we will be keeping our eye on it, and we will let you know whenever we hear details of what is to come. But now, it's over to you. What do you think about this open hub concept? Would you be down for it, or are you totally against it? Let me know if you're a local and an annual pass holder as well, or if you're like me and only get to visit the parks at certain times. I want to know your thoughts. Thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you enjoy theme park content as a whole, please consider subscribing because we have videos on Universal, Disney, Horror Nights, everything. You can also follow me at Canuck Park Hopper on Instagram for more theme park fun. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.